Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. All right, so far, and we've kind of been going over this over and over again, and I kind of want to transition us out of it tonight, but I need to share one last time for those of you who may not. They say repetition deepens the impression. So far, we've learned what makes an emotionally mature leader. Number one, emotionally mature leaders are self-differentiated. In other words, they are able to say, "This is who I am." Number two, emotionally mature leaders are principle oriented. In other words, they're able to say, "This is what I believe." And number three, emotionally mature leaders are goal directed. In other words, they're able to say, "This is what I'm responsible for. This is who I'm responsible to. This is what I will do. This is what I will not do." They're goal directed. And today, and this is before we transition into some of those core beliefs that I wanted to share with you that every leader should have. I want to talk today about emotional fusion and reaction in the leader's life. So stick around as we unbox emotional fusion in the leader's life. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach. And welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. All right, welcome on in. So glad to have you here today with Unboxed. Please do me a favor before we get started. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. That's right, like, subscribe, and share. And also, if you're listening to our podcast, check out our website. That's Unboxed, SWG-unboxed.org. Our website is www.swg-unboxed.org. All right, let's jump right into it. Yesterday, I shared with you a powerful quote that I really think sets the stage for a leader's life and a leader's progress. And I'm going to read it to you. It comes from Roberta Gilbert in the book Extraordinary Relationships, page 117. She says, "A life lived according to the principles of a thought-out inner guidance system has an entirely different quality, course, and outcome than a life lived according to principles implicitly or explicitly set by one's environment." In other words, the effort toward emotional maturity frees one from trying to be what others think or want them to be, yet it allows one to remain in open contact with significant others. That is so profound. We want to be ourself, our best self, our genuine and authentic self in every environment and in every relationship. And without doing the hard work of thinking through our guiding principles, we manage ourselves based on our environment or based on our relationships. And so if we're managing ourselves based on our environment, our relationship, then kind of what is guiding us? What is guiding us? Well, each of us are pre-programmed, and I've talked about this before. Each of us are pre-programmed from the day that we're born. Matter of fact, it takes place even before we're born, and you should study a little more about epigenetics, find out how that impacts us. But each of us are pre-programmed for the way that we react and the way we manage ourselves in relationships, the way that we approach life, approach leadership. It is what it is. When you're born, you're a baby, you don't know any better. People just start writing stuff on your emotional computer. You begin to be pre-programmed. That's not the bad thing. But what I want to say, and we're going to talk about some very specific guiding principles next week. I'm going to actually share with you the 5 guiding principles that I believe every leader should have. And you have to develop more than that, but I'm going to start with that next week. So make sure that you tune in and hear those guiding principles that every leader should have. But let me start for today's exercise by rereading an example of a leadership statement from my personal life. Okay, you ready for this? And here it is. "I am an honest person. That is who I am. And I believe," so who I am, what do I believe? "I believe in the value of human dignity. I believe all my interactions should be transparent, open, and truthful. I believe in being candid and sincere in all verbal and nonverbal communications. My goal," and here it is, what will I do? "My goal is to let my yes be yes and my no be no, being clear, candid, sincere, and truthful in all my communications with family, friends, and workplace. I will honor all my commitments. Are you with me now? So you kind of see how that guiding principle, that belief statement plays itself out. And this is one that I personally worked through. But before, now, I've been bragging about this one belief statement for the last several days. But before I did the work of thinking through the type of person I wanted to be, I operated based on my pre-programming, the programming that was set up from the day that I was born, came into the world as a baby, saw how my parents interacted or saw how my parents interacted with other people, saw how people are supposed to respond when they're angry, saw how they're supposed to respond when they're upset. It was just written onto my computer, and that's okay. But here's the catch about that. Our families can really determine the levels of our emotional maturity based on the way that we observe them interacting in relationships and based on the type of relationship that they have with us. We want to move beyond that. We're not robots, nor are we blood beasts that just go by instinct and are governed by patterns and just whatever's happening. We have no control over it. No. We are created to be thoughtful, rational beings and to think through who we are, why we exist, and the type of person that we want to be. You see, the more in our family the more our family influences us, and the less that we think about who we want to be, and the more we just run on autopilot, for lack of a better term, the more we set ourselves up for emotional fusion. Basically what that means is emotional fusion is simply the level of control another person has over your feelings and reactions. So the less that we think out who we want to be, the more we set ourselves up for emotional fusion, which is allowing others to control our reactions and to control our feelings. And here's the catch. As I talked about that pre-programming, the level of emotional fusion a leader experiences is based on the level of emotional fusion he or she has in their family of origin. So again, that's why I can't just sit here and let my pre-programming run my life. Because if I had an awful lot of emotional fusion in my family of origin, where I learned to allow others to control my thoughts and my feelings, if I don't break that cycle, man, that is going to make me the type of leader that is controlled by my environment, the type of leader that is controlled by whatever relationship I am, rather than being an authentic and sincere leader. How well you are able to clearly define yourself. How well you're able to clearly define yourself is directly related to the pre-programming that took place in your primary family relationship system. And I'm not going to talk about it anytime soon, but one day we're going to sit down and talk about how to identify what was written onto your pre-program, or what was written onto your emotional computer, pre-program onto your emotional computer. We take what we learn, catch this down. We take what we learned in our family of origin, and then we transfer that into all other relationship systems that we are a part of. Simply put, my beliefs, my ideas, and guiding principles were given to me. I did not create them myself. And even if, let's say, for instance, I'm raised a Christian, so I get mad and angry at my family, and now I'm going to be an atheist or an agnostic. That's still not my authentic self. That is me being fused with my family and allowing them to control my emotional reaction, allowing a relationship to control my emotional reaction, so that now I go to the other extreme to prove a point. What we want to be is genuine, authentic, clear about who we are as leaders. The problem with this, when we allow our pre-programming to run us, the problem with this is that we operate on autopilot based on our pre-programming, not on our well thought out self. We are at the whims of family patterns. We become at the whims of societal norms. And what we want to do is to be genuine, authentic for ourselves. That is why it is so important to think about who you are, what you believe, and what you will do, the guiding principles of your life. Hey, listen, make sure that you check us out at www.swg-unboxed.org, and make sure that you continue to unbox the power and the potential of your leadership and the power and the potential of every relationship. Take care.
Seasoned with Grace Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.